how's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel with some more Arsenal transfer news, opinions, discussions and all that good stuff. Hope everyone's having a great day today. Quite a wild day for transfer updates in general. England's squad has been named for Euros. Italy's squad has been named for Euros. Quite a bit of squads, to be honest, have been named for Euros. Southgate has kind of removed and counted out 6 players from England's squad, none of Arsenal players, luckily for us, but he took out Harry Maguire, who hasn't recovered from injury apparently, but at the same time, he's one of the most consistent performers when he plays for international team, which will be very interesting to see. He counted out Branthwaite, Kanash, there was Jones, and something that surprised me, Grealish also didn't get a chance. So that will be very interesting to look how he manages the England squad, because I think England have no left-footed center backs. I think Branthwaite was the only one. Anyways, we are here to talk about Arsenal. So today we are talking about links, opinions, discussions. We're going to talk about it. Hope you enjoy it. Let me know down in comments what you think about the players we're going to talk about. Would you take them on Arsenal or not? And to be honest, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. You know what to do to have more fun time, to be honest, because let's be real, chatting in comments and hearing your opinions and answering to them is something something I really like. So let's get into it. And we're kicking things off with Jorginho, who just has been named in Italy's Euro 24 squad. Now, Euros kick off in 8 days on Friday. I think it's Germany vs Scotland that kicking all things off, and Jorginho has been named in Italy's squad. Italy are the defending champions. It will be very interesting to see how everything goes for Italy, because the game against Turkey they had wasn't the most fun one to watch, let's just say that. There are lots of youngsters playing there, lots of other questions to be asked how it looked, whether it's smart or not to use the main guys, but the 32-year-old has been named for Spalletti's squad. Best of luck to him, best of luck to any Arsenal player that's been named. There's, well, so far, as long as he's Arsenal player now, Zinchenko, of course, Kai Havertz, there's, as we talked about just about now, Zinchenko, of course, Bukayo Saka, Declan Rice, and many more. And now let's get into proper news. Amadou Onana, remember him? We've been linked with him before. 50 million at the time was the price. At the time we were also going for Declan Rice when we got him last summer. And Arsenal have inquired over the availability of Amadou Onana to Everton. Concrete talks between the clubs haven't taken place yet, but he is one of their targets. And Fabrizio Romano has reported that, which is pretty much quite reliable if you think about it. And Amadou Onana, the thing is, I would like him at Arsenal. That's the bottom part of all of this. But is he good enough to be the main guy to hold down the 6 role, for example? I'm not too sure. If we keep Partey and Onana is like a backup, he rotates, and maybe next year when Partey leaves, Onana becomes a starter, I can see that happening. But also, one thing we need to put into the context is the price. Because the price is all over the place, and anyone can speculate how much Everton would like to let him go for, because Everton have been hit with sustainability rules and FFP quite hard. They need to sell and need to pay off the debts, apparently. So Amadou Onana, if last summer it was 50 million, I have very little doubt that this season, this summer, it will be the same, if not 60 million. Genuinely that. And for that money, I'm not too sure I want that. For 60 million, imagine it's 60 million. You can sign Fofana from Monaco and then sign someone. You have still 35 million left over to play around money. Basically, Arsenal are linked with Zinchenko still. So we can sign Fofana and Zinchenko for the price of one Amadou Onana. The biggest thing about this is, though, Amadou Onana, as much as he has many advantages, many pros, in the sense that he has the height, he has the strength, he has engine on him, he got good tackles, passing it needs some working, and shooting as well in a way. The biggest thing about this is that he is Premier League proven, and that is something massive. None of the Fofana or Zinchenko have been Premier League proven, and that is one of the biggest things for me. When we sign players from Premier League, specifically Premier League, let's just say we signed Declan Rice, but we knew about that, let's just say even Kai Havertz, Jesus, Zinchenko at the time, it instantly elevated the team and made us stronger and better. When we sign players outside of the Premier League, they are very massive risks and many hits and misses. Genuinely, unless you're like Thomas Partey, although he came to Premier League and instantly got injured. So it's a bit different one. But Gabriel, we signed him from Lille at the same time. Look where he is now. Same goes for Saliba and other players. But For example, Fabio Vieira, not good enough. I think we need to sell him and rather keep Emil Smith-Rowe, but we'll see how that goes. Pepe had a wonderful season for Lille, was a world beater, but at the end of the day, wasn't good enough for Arsenal. Although I genuinely believe, as a backup for Bukayo Saka, he could have been quite brilliant this season and in general, but I guess Arteta just didn't like him. But it is what it is. Back to Amadou Onana. To be honest, I would take him for about 30 million. 35 million, I'm all for that. If the price goes to in that 60 range, 50-60 range, he must be, it must be a sustained and established player for me. A player who can instantly slot into the role and doesn't need time to adjust, and he already can improve somehow the squad. And that's the biggest thing for me, because every single pleb in the world at the moment in world football goes, it feels like, for 30 to 50 million. Chelsea won for Gallagher 50 million, and who's gonna pay that? Let's be real. Although the English tax hits hard, but in general he has less than 1 year left on his contract. Like, let's be real. But Amadou Onana at Arsenal, I would definitely take him, but for the right price. Because signing him for 60 million, it would be quite a bit reckless. I'm not gonna lie. But if it was 30, 35, pushing maybe 40 at tops, I wouldn't be against that. Definitely wouldn't be against that. He's a Belgium international. There's a massive good player in there. So definitely he would elevate Arsenal's team. Because one of the things is, every time we play teams that have physicality, we tend to struggle because we don't have that many physically strong players. We saw how Saliba and Gabriel pocketed Haaland. And you need that strength. And Amadou Onana, whenever he plays against Arsenal, he bullies our midfield because it is somewhat weak. So getting him into the squad actually wouldn't be also the worst. But as a starter, as the main guy for the whole season, for Champions League and stuff like that, not too sure he's just cut out for it yet. As a backup, yes. As a starter, not yet. Not yet. But if we pay about 35 million, I definitely won't complain. More news from Fabrizio Romano. Victor Osimhen is still expected to leave Napoli this summer, but it won't be to join Chelsea. Apparently he doesn't want to move to Saudi. Apparently he doesn't want to move to Chelsea by the looks of things. And I don't see many teams going for him. Maybe PSG, because they have the money from... They don't even have money from Mbappe. Well, they do have money from Mbappe, to be honest, because the amount of money they were paying Mbappe, now they have for transfers, you can say. But Arsenal looks like the only actual target today, for now at least. The issue with this is, yes, I know that there were rumors about including players like Emil Smith-Rowe, Tomiyasu in a swap deal plus money potentially, and I have had some quite a bit angry in a way Napoli fans who just shut the rumors down, and I totally agree with that, to be honest. I dug a bit deeper in these rumors. There's no merit to them. Napoli is not a team that wants any players back. They want cash up front so they can spend again to improve their squad. So that's, as a result, comes out to say that 130 million. I'm not sure Arsenal will pay that up front. I'm not sure they can pay that up front, to be honest, in a way. Well, to be honest, we could, but we have to fit into FFP and all that stuff that is hitting everyone all of a sudden. So that definitely will be a very tough order. Now, would I take Osimhen at Arsenal? I'm not gonna lie, I have very mixed feelings about this. Maybe we can improve him, maybe we can get him better, but there are quite a bit screaming factors that are yelling to me, no. For example, injuries. He gets injured in Serie A. Imagine he comes to much physical, more stronger league. He might get even more injured. He might be our 130 million Jesus potentially. Second of all, he had, for him, mediocre season for Napoli compared to last season. He didn't do anything much for Nigeria in the World Cup. My gosh, in AFCON, even they got to the finals, but did nothing. He legit almost did pretty much nothing for Nigeria in the AFCON. So he had very average season in general, and that is the thing. That is the thing for me, because he seems like if he's on fire, he's on fire. But if something starts to go wrong, he might get into a slump. He might need to break a duck or something, and that is the biggest issue for me. Injuries and inconsistency, because Napoli, to be honest, didn't have the greatest of seasons this season. Kvaratskhelia didn't perform like he did last season, same goes for Osimhen. I think that goes kind of hand in hand. Now, Napoli signed Conte, it will be very interesting, and Conte already is looking at Romelu Lukaku, so could that be an indication that there's a big chance that Osimhen might leave. That could be the case. And if he comes to Arsenal, I will support him no matter what. On Arsenal, I'm supporting the club, I'm supporting the players, I'm supporting decisions from Mikel Arteta until they prove me wrong, until Mikel Arteta proves me wrong. Either it's a good thing or a bad thing. The thing is, the price is really worrying me. So that is one of the biggest reasons why I don't think this deal actually could happen at some point, unfortunately. Some not so good news, in a way, from Bayern Munich and Germany. Sky Germany reports that Bayern Munich are not interested in Arsenal's left-back Alexander Zinchenko and want to extend Alphonso Davies' contract. Now, this obviously is very interesting because Alphonso Davies has been linked with Real Madrid. Not sure they're gonna get him, we'll see how that goes. But the biggest thing for me is company wanted Zinchenko quite a bit, according to rumors. Now it's not. It's coming out that it might not happen. So we'll have to wait and see what's happened. But one thing is, if we start next season with Zinchenko in the team, I will somewhat accept this situation. Only if I don't see him playing at left back ever again. But knowing Mikel Arteta, he wants to invade from both sides. By the looks of things, Arsenal are building a team that can invade from either side. And yeah, if Zinchenko plays left back, we are already screwed. Just like last season, interviews with different managers and different scouts said, if you want to get at Arsenal, get at their left side, because that's their weakness. And it's usually the time where Zinchenko plays there. And to be honest, yeah, it is a shame because we could definitely get about 30-35 million for him. It remains to be a question mark whether he's gonna move or not, but by the looks of things, Arsenal are quite open to selling him. It all remains just where, when, and to who, because at the moment, there aren't any suitors, because only rumor we heard was Bayern Munich. I haven't heard any other team just yet. So it all remains to be seen what's gonna happen with that, but at the end of the day, I really hope that at some point he gets his move, because as harsh it may sound, I don't want to see him at left back at Arsenal ever again. And that is the final straw for me. Because if I see him there will be some massive rant videos. Because on paper, I have them out. Because this is the season where it's do or die for Mikel Arteta for me. And this window is do or die for Arsenal. Because we need to take a massive leap. We need to get this window right to try and go challenge again. Because City definitely are gonna get stronger. And we need to get even stronger than that. So it all remains to be seen. But Zinchenko at the moment looks like he is staying for now until new rumors surface. Here is something unique. Tottenham could be about to help Arsenal sell Emil Smith-Rowe this summer. And this is very weird because Spurs don't want to do us any favors, but there is a potential ability situation where if everything falls into place properly, because of Spurs, we could sell Emil Smith-Rowe. And it all comes because of Fulham and everything. Here we go. As we all know, Tottenham and Arsenal are both set for busy summer transfer window, coming in, going out. And here is the big one. Tottenham could help Arsenal sell Emil Smith-Rowe. You ask how, so here it is. Spurs could help Arsenal in their quest to sell Emil Smith-Rowe after a recent report emerged stating that Tottenham want to sign Andreas Pereira from Fulham. And this is all according to, where was it? I already got, was it? I forgot from who it was. From who? I know there was somewhere written from who it was. So it's not just out of the air, just brought information randomly. But sometimes one transfer can set a domino effect. We are all talking about that in goalkeepers and everything. But Tottenham want to sign... Well, very sorry, that was a misclick by me. Tottenham want to sign Andreas Pereira. Now, I'm not sure how is this going to work because Andreas Pereira is a decent player. But I'm not sure he's Tottenham quality player. Yes, it may sound that I'm praising Tottenham in a way in this instance, but I'm not sure he's the quality that Tottenham need. Yes, they need that type of a player, but I'm not sure he's it in a way. But if they sign him, good for us, because it looks like there could be a domino effect in this instance that could set up a domino effect, as it was said, where Emil Smith-Rowe moves to Fulham. Now, it all remains to be seen whether it's going to happen or not. But it's coming more and more interesting to follow Emil Smith-Rowe's story because it looks like he definitely is leaving Arsenal this summer, unfortunately. But at the same time, he's a Helen graduate It will be pure profit for Arsenal, and we could actually get a decent money for him. Because if he plays even for Fulham, under Marcos Silva, he actually would be quite a fantastic player. I definitely believe in that system to replace Pereira, and in general, definitely would fit in fantastically well. Here's another random story which I didn't expect to read. Fulham formulating offer to sign Eddie Nketiah, which is weird. According to Team Talk, Fulham are preparing an offer to sign 25-year-old Arsenal striker Eddie Nketiah. Two London clubs are in talks over possible move in the summer transfer window. And that's the thing, Fulham need a quality striker. Now, we can argue, well, there's actually no argument whether Nketiah is a quality striker, but Fulham hasn't managed to replace Mitrovic whatsoever since he moved to Saudi. You cannot argue me with that, because he was their main man. He was like a Tony for Brentford and everything. He scored massive amounts of goals. He was banging them left, right and center. And now it looks, since he's gone, they signed Jimenez from Wolves, but he hasn't done too good overall, if you ask me. So now they're looking to bluster the attack, and that fact that they want to sign a quality striker and they're looking at Eddie Nketiah is quite interesting, to say the least. But if they offer us 25-30 million, I would definitely take that for Eddie Nketiah. I would drive him to Craven Cottage, if I'm not mistaken, myself, and I would be happy about that, to be honest. Eddie Nketiah is a decent player. He's just not Arsenal and Champions League quality player. Yeah, he's a mid-table, lower-end table type of player for Premier League. High-end type of player for Championship. We saw that when he was there for Leeds, although he didn't get to play much under Bielsa, but when he played, he was quite fantastic. And to be honest, I think he would fit quite fantastically well in like Crystal Palace or Everton, or as it was reported yesterday, Wolves, Fulham, Everton. And Everton, actually, it's very interesting because Chelsea are looking at potentially signing Dominic Calvert-Lewin from Everton, which would mean that potentially there's a room for Eddie Nketiah going to Everton. So that will be interesting to follow as well. But according to rumors, Fulham might actually bid for Eddie Nketiah quite soon. And out of nowhere, last news story for today, exclusive. Arsenal scouts fly to Germany to watch Zinchenko replacement. And here we are talking about Maximilian Mittelstadt. Yes, Maximilian Mittelstadt. Now, I could imagine that you have no idea who I am talking about. Now, I would say it's a very interesting one. He had a spectacular season, I'm not gonna lie, for Stuttgart. He grew up, he was played before that in Hertha Berlin. And we're gonna look at him on Transfermarkt, because otherwise you will think I'm pulling stats out of my bum. Anyways, he played 31 games for Stuttgart, scored 2 goals, 4 assists. Stuttgart finished 4th in the league, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. But yeah, here we go, Stuttgart. They signed him for $500,000 from Hertha Berlin, which was quite incredible, to be honest. And I'm all over the place, I'm not gonna lie. Why am I looking at this? Here we go. I wanted to show you. Stuttgart finished 2nd in Bundesliga, by the way. They overtook Bayern Munich, so they have a blinder of a season. If you look here, Stuttgart overtook even Bayern Munich. But back to Maximilian Mittelstadt. He signed for Stuttgart for 500k. 500k at here. We signed him here, Hertha Berlin, in last summer. Last summer transfer window, yeah, he signed for Stuttgart for $500,000, and now his value is around 17 million. Imagine the upgrade, the profit Stuttgart could make for selling Mittelstadt. As a left back, also 2 goals, 4 assists. He had a very decent season. Yes, he's not on the young side. He's 27 years old. However, he has experience. He's German international, so that's already in a way quite a big dub. He looks like he's going to Euros as well. He can play left mid, so if we somehow switch to 3 at the back, he can play left mid. Not sure that's gonna happen or not. But here we go. Look at Mittelstadt. Since 17 or even younger, he was all the time at Hertha Berlin. His value spiked in 2019 to 14 million. It dropped down, and again, when he signed for Stuttgart, his market value started to rise. He signed for Stuttgart last summer for 500k, and instantly Half a year went, 5 million, and now that Stuttgart finished second in the league, had quite massively incredible season, 17 million. Now probably he would be around like 18, 19, maybe 20 million euros, I would assume so. If Arsenal went for him, it would be quite interesting to see. But this is the big one. We don't have the best experience of signing Bundesliga left backs, do we? Can you remember the last one? The one who is mostly famous for saving Mesut Ozil. Yes, we are talking about Shed Kolasinac. So that will be very interesting to see how this develops. I'm not sure whether there's much truth behind this or not, but it's a rumor, so hence we are talking about it. Would I take him at Arsenal as a main left back? No chance in hell whatsoever. Now, if we stick to last year's plan when we played Zinchenko at left back and maybe have Mittelstadt as a backup, I wouldn't be against that. That I actually can see working quite well. Where it's gonna happen or not, as I said, remains to be seen. I'm not gonna pretend that I know everything about him, in him, at him, and everything. And yeah, I just saw Bundesliga games, was watching them. I just saw how Stuttgart were playing, and he looked very decently. I would give about 7.5, maybe an 8 for his season. But we know how it works when Bundesliga players come to Premier League. It's not always the smoothest of transitions, so it all is still up in the air. Remains to be seen, and nobody knows how he would fit in. Since he can play left mid, there's a big argument to be made that he can also invert. So Mikel Arteta is obsessed with that. So that definitely is already a plus on his side. So it all remains to be seen. But Mittelstadt at Arsenal? It's a 50-50 one. It's a more no than yes. Since we already we can play Tomiyasu there. Tierney looks like he's gonna get sold. Recent reports are saying that there's no chance he's staying at Arsenal. So we'll see how that goes. But to be honest, I'm gonna say this. Mittelstadt at Arsenal, I would take him as a backup. As a main guy, no chance in hell. If he's about 15 to 20 million, I'm taking that. It's a low risk situation for Arsenal, but I still would sign a proper left back. That is the big one. Hato, maybe it's the Garcia, I think it's Garcia, right? I'm not tripping here, from Girona, maybe. But Mittelstadt as a backup, yes. As a main guy, no chance whatsoever. By the way, if you're watching Bundesliga more than I am, and if you are, especially if you're a Stuttgart fan, what are your thoughts on Mittelstadt? Is he good, and would he fit in Premier League well? Let me know that down in comments below. Anyhow, those were the transfer rumors, my thoughts and opinions from me for you today. Let me know down in comments what you think about Mittelstadt. Would you take him at Arsenal, yes or no, and why? Would you exploit the option of signing Osimhen for about 130 million or not? And yeah, let me know down in comments also which Arsenal players are more likely to leave this summer, because there are about 7 or 8 on the chopping block, and most likely, according to rumors, who will leave. But who you think will leave definitely? Smith Rowe, Nketiah, Zinchenko, Reece Nelson, Fabio Vieira. Let me know that down in comments below. Take care, enjoy your evening, and see you all tomorrow. Peace.